Season 1. I haven't rewatched any of these in like a very long time. So let's see here.
Yeah, same. So,
Encounter at Farpoint. That it's on here as just one episode, which is how we watched it. It's technically the first two. What do you think of that from your memory? Do you remember it?
Counter at Farpoint. It's not the strongest opening to the show. I do love Bones. I do love John DeLance. I do love Q. But just overall, I just felt like it would have been better just as a 45-minute show instead of a full, hour and a half. So I'm gonna go C.
And just do a quick explanation of the tiers, whether you've never seen a tier list or you want to know us personally. I think we have a little bit of a different take on the tiers. At least I'll like, speak for myself, but we'll just go from the bottom up. So you have the E. That's for engagement, because basically an F grade, nothing redeemable about the episode. The only thing it's good for is farming engagement on the channel. So that's E tier. Then we have D. D is basically don't care. It's like, yeah, maybe there's some good stuff in there, but overall, I just don't care, you know? C, I think that's like the baseline.
It's the middle of the road, like your standard Star Trek episodes, where nothing really crazy, nothing really terrible, just like, yeah, when people think of Star Trek, they would think of that episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And then B, in my opinion, this is where it gets to the bangers. I know a lot of people are like, oh, if it's not S or A tier, everything below that means they don't like it. Like, no, I think B would stand for banger. It's not one of my favorite episodes, but it's a banger. Everything about it is good. Probably only have minor complaints. That's what I would say for B. How would you describe A tier, or more specifically, the difference between A and S tier?
S is God tier perfection in my eyes. Like, it checks all my boxes. But an A tier would be like probably an episode that everyone loves, that we have little nitpicks on. I think that's the best way that we still love as well. But there's still little, like, those little hinges, or those little twigs in the back of your brain, like, that bothers me a little bit, or that doesn't sit right with me, or just a little like, it's like, but the episode's still great. But S is like, I have no problems with this.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And honestly, as the show has gotten better, it might not show here in this season, but as the show has gotten better and the franchise as a whole, I'm going to be more and more picky about what gets in that S tier. I think when we did the season 2 tier list, we'll take a quick look at it after this, but we might have handed out those S's a little bit too hastily, because, you know, the normal Star Trek fan, they're probably putting 90% of episodes in A or S. But like we're not. We're probably putting half of them at C or below. So so for me, S needs to be reserved for like the emissary. It needs to be reserved for like Measure of a Man.
Defector.
Yeah, and A is just like, I have no problems with this. This is an excellent episode. It's just not in that S tier for me.
Yep.
So absolutely, let's get started. You said C for Encounter at Farpoint.
I say C. How about anyone else?
Yeah, I would say C as well. But just to make it interesting, because this is the first one, I am going to say D. I don't really care.
Really? Wow.
So when we don't agree, we're going to let you guys in the chat agree. But this doesn't mean you all get to say S and now it's S tier. You guys have to decide between our two choices. So C or T dear. T dear? I've already drank too much and I'm sober. C or D tier for the pilot of the series Encounter at Farpoint. I've already seen a bunch of D's come in. A couple people put B, weren't listening to what we said. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty down the middle. Okay, now the C's are really coming in. We'll give it another second. Husker Chuck said double D. I don't remember any of those in that episode. Maybe I missed them.
No, that's a little bit later. And the one where Wesley gets charged for murder. I don't know. I think
That's split, man. That is split. I think C maybe outweighs it a little bit.
I think we had to go C. We'll give you a low. We'll give you a low C. How about that?
There you go. Someone got an A in there. Let's just put it in A.
Yeah, why not?
All right. So we got our first tier of the night, and we are going to try to blow through these a little bit because this is season 1, so we don't want to spend it all night on this.
Okay, Naked Now. D.
No, but in all seriousness, I'll take that back out. Naked Now, not my favorite episode.
No.
It's the first regular episode of the show, and it was a TOS sequel, which we haven't even gotten since then.
Yeah, I mean, first episode we see Bones. This episode they mention Kirk by name, and it's a direct plot sequel. I think we were just so excited to watch the show. Like maybe I'd love to go back and just rewatch season 1 again for the channel so we can get paid for it. But yeah, I'm going D on this one.
Yeah, we'll see on that second time watch in a few years after we get through Enterprise and everyone cancels the Patreon. Please stay. We're watching TNG again. Please stay. We'll stay if you watch Buffy. We're watching TNG again. Please stay. Okay.
Oh boy.
So what was your final on that?
Mine was D.
D. Okay, I would agree. I would agree with that. So I don't care about that episode. Fully functional. Good quote from that one. But all right, here we go.
Here we go.
Code of honor.
Code of honor.
Hey. Hey. I really liked the fight scene in this episode, and the promo right before. It was like a locker room pre-fight promo between Tasha and I already forgot the character's name. But I'd probably go C. It's racist. We understand. It's racist. Okay, we just get that off the table? All right, but I'd probably go C. I mean, that one guy, remember the piece of shit guy who just, like, no morals whatsoever?
Oh.
Just like, she's gonna die. Well, at least I'll be okay.
Yeah, that guy was great. Yeah, it's very racist, obviously. I don't know. I'd go D. I mean, I like the fight scene set and all that, but yeah. No.
D, that's a fair one.
Yeah.
I think I'm being a little bit too generous just because I want to make people mad. I'll go D. I'll go D as well. But again, guys, not E is purely for engagement. Now, you could argue we're farming engagement right now. But I would say there was enough in here that, racism aside, Jonathan Frakes not personally liking the episode aside, whatever else you want to say, I think that there were some moments that made us laugh, moments that made us go, oh, wow, okay, cool. We were just getting into TNG. With that being said, would I want to watch either of these again? No. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, no.
How about the introduction of the Ferengi in The Last Outpost?
Oh God, but that's the cool moment with Kirk. I mean, Riker, right? Where Riker goes down, Picard stays up there. That's the moment with the sword coming to. Remember?
Yes, the Guardian.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was a cool moment. So, also, is that where he's outside? Hello.
Oh, the bad CGI.
Yeah. I'm gonna go C.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna go D. Ferengi were absolutely terrible. There were a couple cool moments with Reichs. I combined Frakes and Riker.
Are we still live? Okay. I saw something change up there.
Oh, Alex thought we stopped the stream. What'd you see?
No, was that always like that? I'm going.
Oh yeah, this is just the studio. I'm trying to pull up the super chats.
Oh, okay. I'm like, something changed?
What was I saying? Oh, decent Riker scenes, but I don't care about this episode. Okay, what do we got next? Where No One Has Gone Before. This was the Traveler. This was the Push Wesley episode. He's going to be great. He's going to be amazing. They go into the edge of space, trillions of light years away.
Is that with the PDF file alien?
Yeah. Don't ever ask that again.
Yeah, with his weird hand.
Yeah, and we got to see a little bit of Tasha's past. We got to see the Worf, the Klingon Targ. So
yeah,
I'd go C. With it. It was whatever. It was fun. It was Picard and his grandmother. That was a good moment. I'd go C.
No, that's Picard's mother.
Oh, she was just old, so I assume.
Wait, this is the moment where all those hallucinations started popping up on the ship, right? Where everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tasha's past, the Targ.
I'm gonna go D.
And just a reminder, guys, we are going to read all super chats. We're just not getting to them as they pop up. We will read all of them by the end of the stream. Okay. I said C, you said D. Let's see what the chat has to say. C or D for Where No One Has Gone Before. I think that's one that that people do like. Let's see.
Where No One Has Gone Before, C or D?
I'm seeing more C's.
Okay.
All right, we got to get through this.
You also put The Last Outpost in D without even having us debate it, because I put
Oh, wait, what'd you say?
C.
Oh, I apologize. See, this happened last time too. Remember the one time when they chose B and I just put it in A? Guys, I missed the last outpost. I promise I'm not drunk.
Keep it in D. Keep it in D.
Oh, you agree now?
Yeah, it's fine. Keep
Oh,
it in D.
why didn't you say anything when I did it? You thought I was joking?
I thought, yeah, we're running out of time.
Lonely Among Us. I would put this in E. This was the infamous blue lightning that we saw and the characters didn't.
Did anything else happen in that episode? Because the blue lightning is like stuck in my brain and going through the ship.
See, now I'm thinking about changing it because, yeah, it was the Antikins and Soleil, the two alien creatures, the lizards and the dogs.
That was funny, but that's not gonna, great moment there.
But do you think that would be enough to lift it out of E into D? Because
No!
I did like that. No?
It
It was like our first cool practical...
first cool practical effect, yeah, and funny moment where it's like, oh, are you okay with these rooms close to each other? No. And then like the hilarious moment where Riker's going down the hall and they threw like a fucking rope around him.
and he just takes it off.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
It wasn't effective at all. All right. You still going E, though?
I mean, what do you think?
I just know that there are worse episodes in this season, and I just feel like I would watch, as much as I didn't like the main plot, just for the Anakin and Soleil, I would watch it before I would watch the ones that are already in D. So I would feel bad putting it in E.
All right, let's go D.
All right. And then up next, we have what was my favorite episode at the time, Justice. And the only reason for that was because of what's pictured right there. Whoever made this tier list knows the best scene, because it was the Data and Picard conversation about, saving one life over all the people on the planet. And at the time, I think that was like our first TNG like philosophical discussion, and that really got me. But there is all the weird nudist colony stuff, and you can't touch the plants.
Oh, that's the episode.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm like, what episode are you talking about? Like, I literally, that's a whole. I'm sorry, but just those two on the ship did not trigger any memory. It should have been like on the planet with all the naked people. But yeah, that was a very deep conversation. I would go C.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go D. Even after I defended it.
Even after you defended it.
Just
yeah.
in hindsight, you know what? No, I'm going C because it also gave us the best, debatably one of the best memes of that season. It's Star Trek, Dad. It's Star Trek. So I gotta go C.
That's true. Even though that's us, not the episode.
It's all included in there. It's all wrapped up in there.
Oh God, what's that one?
The battle. This was the second Ferengi episode. The ball. Picard's headache.
Yeah.
I'd go D. I don't care about this episode.
D.
That one's simple enough.
I'm glad we're on the same page here.
And this is where, at this point, people started asking, do we like this show? Which was funny.
Which is funny because everyone's like, oh, the show sucks
Yeah.
in season 1.
Yeah. Oh, guys, that first season's terrible. We don't like an episode. You guys don't get it.
Okay.
Wait, we weren't antagonizing the audience. My bad. Okay, Hiding Q. Q's second episode.
This one wasn't as good as he was in Encounter at Farpoint. And he has obviously better episodes. This is the one where, the green planet.
And he gives Riker the powers.
Oh, yeah, and then in the first season, we already see Geordi without his
visor at the end.
Yeah, and we see Wesley Crusher as some jacked older guy. It's like, you can be older, Wesley.
He's gonna be a Chad when he's older.
You first.
Me first? Okay. I would put it in C only because they killed a child, and that's ballsy. Remember that? The child that was going to die, and Riker had the powers to save her, but he didn't. So that's ballsy.
Yeah, I'll go C.
All right. Now, next, this is a guilty pleasure for me. Haven. I'll let you go first, though. This is the first Loxana Troy episode, where the artist prearranged marriage with Deanna, meet Mr. Hom, and then the blonde woman that he's been drawing comes over and he goes with them.
This is one of my what could have been episodes. It's tough because I wanted that little dark ending because the happy ending didn't do it for me, didn't pull anything out of me. I don't know. What do you think?
For me personally, there's so much fun here, and I really enjoyed, like, for example, the opening, the hook of the episode when we find out that Deanna's getting married. It's because that silver box shows up in the transporter, and then it's
that face. Yeah.
So there was enough fun where I would put it in C. I would say it's a baseline episode for fun episodes, and it's my favorite, honestly, of the Loxana Troy episodes thus far. So I would put it there. I also loved, in the picture here it shows it, the purplish background they had when they go on the holodeck.
Oh, that's
So,
right.
but it's not. I wouldn't call it a banger or anything.
And doesn't
so.
Riker just walk in on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
All right.
Well, we're pretty split down the middle here. A lot of.
Yeah. What a season.
But now.
But now.
But now, this is where we start. The
Big
Big
Goodbye.
Goodbye. My favorite episode of season 1, I believe. I'm trying to remember my own rankings here. This is the one where I'm like, okay, I get it. We brought in the guy from Reservoir Dogs, Lawrence Tierney. I remember his name. That's how you know how important he is. Yeah, this episode had one of my favorite endings until it wasn't the actual ending, but it could have been. And they learned that lesson later on in later seasons. But I'm going to put this one an A for me.
Wow, I'm actually surprised that wasn't an S for you. I mean, I know it was season 1, and we've seen a lot since.
You know why it would have been an S if it didn't end with.
Oh, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I'll agree with you. That's an A. That's an A.
It had the perfect. I'm gonna bitch about this episode till I die, even though I just put it in A. It had the perfect opportunity to just end on black with the holodeck door shutting. Like, you were right there.
Yeah, I did make that edit for you, though, eventually.
You did.
Of it, so
You
we
did.
have that.
Watch that every night before bed.
All right. Let me see here. Here we go. I found the Super Chats, guys. I'll read some more after the, what do you call it? After this tier list.
Okay.
That I said was going to take until 6:30, and it's 6:34. Okay.
We gotta hurry up here.
Data lore.
Oh, that's.
First and only lore episode thus far.
Yeah, this is where we finally figured out Brent Spiner, right? This is where we discovered Brent Spiner. I mean, we knew of Brent Spiner, obviously.
You mean like how good he is?
Like how good he is.
Yeah.
They finally gave him the ball and he just ran down.
Yeah, this is where I bought in on him, yeah.
Yeah.
And on Data as a character, too.
I'm stuck between A and B. How about you? Probably B.
Dude, I was honestly thinking S.
Really? S.
I mean, think about the impact of this episode. I mean, we bought in on Brent Spiner and Data. We haven't seen Lore again. If they have brought Lore back 5-6 times since then, okay, it's not as special, but Lore is one of the most striking characters of the series, and that's the only time in the first 3 seasons he's there. Their fight at the end, throwing into the barrels and everything, he shoots Beverly in the arm. I love this episode. It might be, in hindsight, it might be my favorite of the season. I mean, I really love it.
Yeah, even though it's allegedly unintentional, but in my head it's canon. The Data ended with "I'm fine" after Lore was busting his balls for not being able to speak in contractions. I believe that's the term.
Yep. Which
I don't know. I'll go.
I mean, you said B, so don't go all the way up to S if you don't mean it. But I mean, we can have them decide.
I'm trying to remember everything that happened. Was there anything bad that happened in the episode?
I don't even know if there was really a B.
I say B off the bat because it's right after the Big Goodbye, so I'm still writing off like, oh, I can't have it be on the same level as the Big Goodbye. But
Fair enough. Yeah.
But I'd go A. I don't know.
What do you guys think? We'll throw it over to the chat. We got people saying A. We got people saying definitely not S, and then obvious S. There you go. Pure contradiction between two people right there. It's between A and S. A for acting. Nice one, Paul. Nice one. We'll give it a few more seconds. A. Okay. There's not enough S's. Okay. We're going A for Data Lore.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, Angel 1, Riker's first goofy outfit. This is down on the planet where he's basically Kirk in this episode. He has sex with the woman. There's the Troy assistant guy. I liked the premise of this planet where the women were masculine and the men were feminine, but they didn't go like over the top with it.
What was the plot again? Some people
prisoners or something.
Oh, some people escaped, and you find out that the women were actually with the men that escaped.
Yeah. I'd go D. You were gonna go E?
Yeah, C's fine.
Oh, you were gonna say C?
Oh,
I would say D.
yeah, let's go D.
D, yeah. Riker's chest hair keeps that out of E for me. And then we have 11001100.
This one was solid. Great holodeck stuff with the trumpet player and Picard and Riker.
Minuet?
Yeah, Minuet. Yeah, good on names. I'm gonna go B.
Think it's a banger?
I think it's a bang.
Yeah, the Minuet stuff is really good. And we had the Big Goodbye in the holodeck, but this one was like a different type of holodeck plot, where the holodeck didn't really play in directly to the problem. It was just like a part of it, which I really loved. And they waited so long, you know what I mean?
It's not really the problem. It's just something that the antagonists or the Binars, they fucked with the holodeck to keep them distracted. So Minuet would keep them distracted in there.
Yeah.
Right?
You said...
I said B. We've had no bangers yet.
Yeah, and also, well, honestly, I was more leaning towards A, but those episodes in A are better than this. But yeah, I'll go B. It was a banger. It was a banger. Banger light. I'd say B minus probably.
B for Binars. There we go, Dan.
Here's another guilty pleasure. Too short a season. We really liked this, and this is one that, at least in our comments and in our community, people did not like wholesale. This was the one with the guy's really old Admiral Jameson.
Oh,
I
and
think
he
his
gets
name was.
young?
Yeah, and he gets young throughout. The reveal, I took both of them. It was for him and his wife.
Yeah. I think it was a pretty good... Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of the very end. There was a fight scene in this one, wasn't there? Or
I honestly don't remember much of the episode.
I'm thinking of the other old guy from...
from Conspiracy.
Conspiracy,
Yeah,
yeah,
later
yeah.
on. I don't know if there was a straight up fight scene in this, but then there was the other guy who wanted to like take him out, and when they brought the young version down, he just like wouldn't believe it no matter what. Like, it's literally him right here. Stop this foolishness.
The ending was really... That guy was really annoying. That teeters between B and C for me.
I'd go C.
Let's go C.
I'd go more guilty pleasure. I really like the over the top hammy performance because that's hard to pull off. And it had kind of a soap opera vibe to it. So, yeah, but I'd put C.
Let's go high, a high C.
And then we have When the Bow Breaks. That's an E. That's an E for me straight up. This might be my least favorite episode of the series so far. This is the children episode. They go down to the planet. I rag on it all the time.
When Wesley was like the leader of the children down there.
What's up, Vince? Sorry, he said hey. What were you saying?
Is that the one where like Wesley's like kind of like the leader of the children down there? Like he's kind of like
Yeah.
I mean, not the leader, but the lead of the episode.
They basically kidnapped who they thought were like the biggest prospects of people for their species, and they were like they couldn't take light, but then like their whole thing was brightly lit for some reason.
Yeah, they would hate that right there. Let's go.
What are you thinking?
Oh, E, yeah.
Yeah, E. Okay, I didn't know.
What are you waiting for? Oh wait, this episode.
Soil. Yep.
Boom!
The bat.
Favorite meme. That's not even in the episode.
There's a lot of these here coming up in this short bunch where if I'm thinking of basic baseline Star Trek episode, this is one of them. Like, good stuff, cool premise. Geordi got some good moments. We got the Transformers meme with Data coming through the smoke. Nothing that noteworthy though about it. I'd say C.
Yeah, C.
And if you don't know what we're talking about with the Transformers meme, go watch the end of that. Either reaction or discussion, probably discussion. Oh wait, or were they still one video at that time? I don't know. Up next, what
Watch
do we got?
both.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't watch the react. Just watch the discussion. Coming of age. What do you think?
Ooh, is this the Wesley Goes to School episode?
Wesley Goes to School.
I love this episode. This episode was so much fun. I'm gonna go B.
Yeah, you had the first appearance of Remick. Damn, this was really good at the time. I think I might even go A.
Really?
This was, I think, the first time where they had a perfectly in sync A and B plot. Didn't take away from each other. Both of them were as strong as the other. I wanted a full spin-off of Wesley in school after that. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Remind me what else was happening with Wesley in school. What was the other plot?
Remick came on board with the older guy, and they were interrogating everybody.
Oh, then and it ends up in conspiracy. That guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
we had the really cool transition with the computer screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a good plot too. Yeah, just trying to poke at everybody. Oh shit. I'm gonna go A.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
A. Mordok.
Oh yeah, introduction of Mordok. Let's bring him back. Get that Mendon out of here.
Also, the teacher. What was his name? The Asian gentleman. Because that guy comes back later, or he's brought up by name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But I just want to give that guy a shout out.
Yeah, that guy was cool. I think his name was like Han or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, Mr. Han. Yeah, he's the instructor.
Yeah, they have Mr. Ham and Mr. Han. I don't know.
But okay, here we go.
Heart of Glory. This for me is probably one of the only, if not the only, we'll see, but S tier for me. Heart of Glory, the Klingon episode. I love the reveal where you think it's Romulans and then Klingons.
One of the best intros ever. And this is like the first, besides Worf obviously, but the first Klingons in TNG.
And then being straight up Star Trek 3 Klingons was such a nice, like, I was afraid they were nerfing Klingons because of the peace treaty or whatever. But no, these guys were awesome. The death where he falls through the glass.
Oh, yeah. S.
Yeah, I agree.
S tier. And this is where it's like Worf, because after Data Lore, I'm like, oh, Brent's our guy. But this is like the first seed planted of Worf's the guy.
Yeah, and then also in that climax there, when the one Klingon is like, "Maybe you're not a Klingon." I'm probably butchering the quote, but he's like, "You're not a Klingon." He's like, "Maybe not," and he shoots him. What a badass
So, yeah, a little teaser for
for later on.
yeah, for Sins of the Father.
Ooh, just got goosebumps a little bit. All right, Arsenal of Freedom. This is Geordi's the captain, the car salesman down on the planet selling the weapon. Beverly injured. Did you try turning it off?
Oh, Data. Is that where Data does his huge jump? Remember
Yeah,
that?
down the hole.
See.
Yeah, this is one of those I would put same thing as Home Soil. Just this is a C. Loved the Geordi as captain stuff, and I think everyone was getting, maybe if I'm right, this is the one where also everyone's sick, and then Worf like gives them the advice about being captain, and Geordi's like, "Worf, thank you." I think that's this one. Oh, Symbiosis, the David episode.
I thought this episode was good. I think this episode's a B.
Yeah. I think we have a bigger. Even when we watched it, we had a bigger disagreement on
Did
this
we
one.
really?
Yeah, because I did not care for not David, but the other guy.
The other guy, yeah.
I thought he was way over the top, and
I like the resolution.
yeah, where they don't tell them, but they tell them like something else that gets them around it or something.
It's like, oh, we'll do it, but like, it was something where they didn't like violate Prime Directive, but it still like screwed like the bad ones over.
Yeah, see, originally I was going to say D, but I think I would actually go up to C because now that I'm thinking about it, at the time I was like, oh, these are like the makings of what eventually we could get with good Prime Directive episodes. And now we're 3 seasons in, and I think this was the only good Prime Directive episode. like, I'm trying to think about it, and it's like this one, like the debate between Beverly and Picard, like that was probably the best Prime Directive thing we've
You think
gotten.
this is better than the Mintaka episode?
Ooh, in the sense of the Prime Directive, yes. That episode's better, but like I don't like that because of the Prime Directive stuff. Like I like that for like it's fun
Okay.
personally. So, but still, I'm lower than you because you said B
I said B. All right. So
and I
B.
say C. So
All
up
right,
to
here we go.
Up to you guys.
B or C?
And while we're doing this, I think this next one, Skin of Evil, might be a tough one because there's a lot of good and a lot I didn't care for. But we'll talk about that in a moment after we get the either B or C here from the chat. Just wanted to point out, someone real quick talked about us getting 400 subs in the next few hours. These goals are not just for the live stream. So when we hit it, it'll happen. But you got to start now. And if you're already subscribed, like the stream. Because liking it pushes it out to more people, to non-subscribers, and that'll bring them in to subscribe. So just as a quick reminder, 16,500 will watch Prelude to Axnar. All right, so what do you think, Alex, from looking at that? What was that more, C or B?
I think I see some more C's. I think.
All right, C's getting loaded up here. We might run out of room of C, very baseline.
We got 4 more left. Let's see.
All right, Skin of Evil. The picture right there shows it all. I mean, that last scene with Data, probably one of the best Data scenes, but the rest of it.
The funeral was wonderful, the ending, but everything before that, we have Troy just in that. I guess Troy does her best acting as best as he can.
Yeah, Marina Sirtis, yeah.
Yeah, just talking to probably someone on a megaphone, How did I, just some Poindexter reading lines. And then he says this, and then she has to act her ass off by herself. Oh, yeah. But they kill Tasha. The tar monster is uninteresting. But, I mean, I would say, like, the balls to kill off a character, but this isn't like Game of Thrones killing off characters for the sake of the story. This is killing off a character because they want it out. It's not as heavy.
Like, the positives that came from it are just luck. Like, the fact that, they killed a main character, anything can happen. That's just luck. They did it because she wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Now, I know, we're not buying into the show or whatever, but it's like, it's the facts, So, I'd go C just because that funeral scene and the ending with Data, credit on the screen, stuff like that is good enough to where like it has to be at least a C, unless the rest of it is terrible. But I don't think it was. It was just like decent.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I mean, the tar monster was annoying, but I don't think it's like, oh my god, turn this off right now, bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you say, C?
I'd say C. Also, we get Riker in the tar. Data, something's got me.
Not exactly this episode, but yeah. Yeah, C.
All right, and then we have We'll Always Have Paris, one that I have actually grown to like more in hindsight. I think at the time I was like, yeah, whatever, but I'd actually go see with this as well. What about? Do you remember this at all?
I know Picard in the holodeck creates that situation. You know, like, oh, I was supposed to be at this diner, but I wasn't there. He makes it seem like, oh, she didn't show up, but he's the one who didn't show up. And then she actually shows up, and this is like the space doctor or a
Yeah.
scientist.
There's the fencing scene where it's like
Oh
where
yeah.
it goes back and forth. The first fencing scene we got. There was also the down on the planet with the three datas at the end.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think it could have been more interesting, but
So what did you give it?
I don't want. I'm looking at the other D episodes. It's not that. Yeah, I'd go see.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
It helps seeing the other what we put there so far.
Yeah. All right. Now this is a big one. Conspiracy.
This is a big one, and there's ads playing for someone right now. So let's milk this cow.
Well, we do that well. Instinctually, I want to say S tier because this was like, holy shit, what is this? It brought back characters from a previous episode at a time where in this first season continuity still wasn't a big thing.
Yeah.
And dude, how many more Star Trek moments are going to be better than Remic's death? Like, probably, you know what I mean? Like, that's probably a top 10 moment. I mean, that was insane. Alien popping out of his chest, then he blows up.
Yeah, and just how huge this episode felt. I love the scene where they go down with the guy from Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, on the red planet.
And like all these captains discussing what's going on, and then the fight scenes, the fake out where you think Riker's with them, but he's not. I don't know how they faked that, but because we saw whatever. But yeah, that death scene was just great, and that ambiguous ending where it's like, oh, these could come back. I don't know if they ever will. Yeah.
What's your hesitancies of putting it in S?
Putting anything above the big goodbye is tough for me. Okay.
You put it in A. I don't know.
Because of the
Because of
ending.
the ending. Well, this one had a good ending.
Yeah, let's go S. That's an S tier episode.
And then the finale. Introduction of the Romulans into TNG. Literally, they say, we're back. And I really liked the B plot. We rag on the season finales a lot, but I think like looking back at this one, I'd put it in B. I mean, I don't have much complaints with this one.
Yeah, I would put it in B as well. What was the B plot?
It was the three people who were frozen from Earth.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah, with Sonny, the guitar player guy.
Yeah. It's weird how that's in a Romulan. A Romulan. But
The Romulans showed up at the end.
but they've been teasing Romulans the entire season, and then to finally see them and their new upgraded TNG look. Yeah, I think B's a good spot for it. Where'd you put it?
Oh, did I put it in A? Okay.
Yeah, get that out of there.
All right, guys. So this is our season 1 tier list. I'll get rid of our camera so you can see the whole thing for a second.
I remember us talking about season 1 and how it felt very middle of the road. And seeing how many are in C, I think even 2 seasons later, we still feel pretty much the same.
Yeah, everyone in the chat, let us know. L or W list here. W or L.
Someone said crap list.
There we go, Adam.
5 out of 10. Okay, Keith.
Yeah, 5 out of 10 for the assessment for a 5 out of 10 season.
That's a good way to put a 5 out of 10 season.
Adam, you already said something. Your L doesn't count. All right, we got some W's. All right.
Needs more B's.
All right. I think that's fair.
I just feel like all of the C's, it's like there was too much holding it back to get it to B. Like each one of those episodes where I'm like, oh, this could be B, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny because with how much crap people talk about this season, you'd think there'd be a lot more in E. We only put 1, the children episode. And then the D ones are like early on in the season that people were telling us were so bad while we were kind of praising at the time. So, I think that's a fair list. I think we just didn't bump up some. But again, I think the normal Star Trek fan puts 90% of episodes in A or above. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But, I think season 1 overall is kind of just a C season.